all people belong, all residents belong Kreer Heights. Also, you play Luke Sabe, to play important institution. Matmat belong Grand Chief, late Grand Chief Sir Michael Samari, Emisili belong street long upside, la tomb belong long house belong na display courthouse Emisili belong here. Yupla number one responsibility bla location ownership long look out good and make sure this bla to play institution is stop good long hand long Yumi all Sepik. Thank you. One time display, I have the pleasure of calling on Honorable Richard Maru, OBE, Member for Yanguru Sasoya and the Minister for Trade and Industry, to give his address. Thank you.
Thank you, MC. The Chief Justice of Papua New Guinea, Sir Gibbs, Salika, Lady Salika, Judges of the National Court and Supreme Court of Papua New Guinea, my colleague, minister and friend, our two governors, our bishop, all our constitutional office holders who are gathered today, the Deputy Commissioner of Police, Commandant of the Defense Force, Lomoim Barracks, CIS, na PPC Bloimelo Province, all our distinguished guests, members of the media, members of the public, our civic people who are gathered today on this great and historic occasion. I am extremely delighted to be here today as the senior Sepik minister in cabinet. Maki people for Sepik. And also as member for Yanguru Sausia to be here for this very historic occasion. I too want to place on record our most serious appreciation to the vision of our Grand Chief to have a world-class courthouse in our province. Awesome Jachi talk finish. Grand Chief put him 9 million towards this 23 million building. The O'Neill government I was part of continued the funding. So today I want to thank Prime Minister O'Neill for his commitment to the people of Sepik. And of course, Prime Minister Marabe and the Marabe government, of which I am a part of, completely funding now, supporting judiciary to finally finish the best courthouse in this country. I think the people of Sepik deserve this. You must talk to me a long time. So thank you very much, Chief Justice, and your infrastructure committee for making it happen for us. Thank you very, very much. I sat and I listened very carefully. This building is planned for 3 judges. My Honorable Chief Justice, you only have 1 in the province right now. When are we going to bring the other 2? You cannot have a sub-regional operation without 2 more judges to fully complement what you have planned for this building. I was part of NEC that supported the minister to make sure we have 20 more judges, and I expect 3 judges to arrive in the Sepik to cater for all our needs in East and West Sepik, and clearly Manus and other provinces. We are looking forward to the full complement. I don't want another white elephant. Let me speak me talk here. The other issue that I wish to raise with the chairman of the Building and Infrastructure Committee. And I see that there's a major fault, not necessarily of the judiciary, but of government. We need to stop building offices without housing the people that work the office. When you plan for a fine landmark building like this, where is the compound for the judges? Minister, don't bring submissions to cabinet without talking about housing for judges. I will support you, that's why I'm raising it now. Judges don't have to live in their communities, mingle and compromise their work. We must keep the independence of the judiciary. This is the most important institution we have. This institution secures our constitution and must continue to secure our future. Investors come to Papua New Guinea wearing my investment hat because we have a vibrant and independent judiciary. And we need to maintain that and demonstrate that, not only by creating positions for judges, but also providing for their families and themselves, because they live in very stressful environments, in unsafe environments. They need to do their job without fear or favor and be secluded from the rest of us in the public, including us politicians. I'm happy to see the Chief Magistrate here today. I have been waiting in the Anglo-Saxon for a magistrate for 2 years. I have a courthouse, I have a vehicle, I have a brand new house for a magistrate. I'm waiting. So I expect with my support in your increased funding, the Anglo will finally have a court magistrate next year. And I'm promising you today I'll give you a new car, a brand new car. Sepik plenty humbug money stuff. Why can't people pull up? I've got a mobile operation on to deal with all the law breakers in this province. We need the judiciary to work, not only in the national court, but the lower courts must work. They process the bulk of the cases. So Governor may appeal or you look as a team the province, you may need strengthening work the lower court. They process the cases before they arrive here. So we need to strengthen it by making sure we provide for the magistrates in our districts, and all our districts in Sepik and throughout the country must have courthouses and must have a lower court that's functioning and working. So I'm on a big place still in the dispensation of justice. We don't have district court magistrates in the districts. And we must start improving that. So I'm big place too, I'm like Racing Law here today. And I'm happy that the Chief Magistrate is here. And I'll be talking to him. And I want to assure you, Minister, lo ay blow line blow me, big blow looks out at the building, your own commitment to the judiciary. And I'll be one of your strongest supporters in cabinet for whatever funding you need for the judiciary. With that, me talk, thank you Cyril for inviting me to come. We must look at a holistic approach to judiciary. Our numbers in the police force are too short. They can't deal with all the criminals. So while I'm here, we are supporting the police force as well. This year we gave them 250 million more than any other government has given them in one single year. The Marabe government is performing. Yes, we have a lot to catch up on, but we are performing. We are increasing police recruitment and training up to 1,000 recruits every year to catch up. Police force in down low numbers. The other area me look somewhere is that we have overcrowded jails. All our jails in the country were built in the 60s. Not for the level of crime and the number of criminals we have today. So I appeal to the Minister of Justice to talk to the police, Internal Security Minister, let's start to look at jails as well, so we can provide for them. I don't need snake bails. I don't need people giving excuses. I want people to be processed through the system. Muscular police mediation, they all need to go to jail. Enough now. Time has come. So I want to assure you, my good Chief Justice, all our judges who are here, you have some of the greatest supporters here, Justice Minister and myself. We're here to improve the dispensation of justice in our country, and we will continue to support you in every way we can. And we are looking forward to far better services, especially in the dispensing of justice I go a lot to Singapore like many other MPs, and we travel. People don't commit crime there because they know the system is so tight. The judiciary is dispensed. You smoking marijuana and you die as well. They know what the system does. In here is so weak. This way people try to muck around with us. They get away with justice. So I hope this courthouse today, Emi Soim Long, Sepik people, the leadership of this province through Grand Chief, Governor Bed and myself, and the support of the judiciary, we are tightening up the system of justice, which is so weak. We must make it stronger like Singapore and other countries. So we have a far better country, a place that's attractive to people to come and invest, and our citizens to roam around freely and do business. With that, thank you very much for allowing me to speak today. I'm so excited to be part of this occasion and to see the best courthouse of Papua New Guinea built in the Sepik province. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my very great pleasure now to invite Honorable Allan Bird, Governor of Sepik, host province for this occasion. Thank you.
Morning, Ogada. Your Honor, Chief Justice Sir Gibuma, Salika and Lady Salika, senior judges, mi bahari abliglig because me look in time na misa we nungut you blangrena. Civic and place block so we will make sure we look after you. The Deputy Chief of Magisterial Services and the magistrates, all the members of the judiciary, mi karmapi mi blogada, and members of the legal fraternity, Minister for Attorney General, Honorable Niningi, Mino Nabgolo Tambu side, you may lose in this la pasta. Secretary for DJAG, and all of those who are in the High Office of Justice Administration, Honorable Maru, our Senior State Minister. I also give an apology for our other State Minister, Honorable Waipo. Incidentally, he's attending court today, so he couldn't make it. Honorable Wowo, my brother governor from the other side of Sepik. Bishop Joe, thank you for your presence and that of the clergy. It's always good to have you. Leaders of Sepik, Manna Mary Wantem, all our other distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of Governor Wowo and myself, and all the leaders and the people of Greater Sepik region, it is indeed my privilege to say that the children of Yawiga, Simongun, Narakobi, Somare, welcome you today. Yubla look sabe all small spirit and moli tok finish na ren and start long. I think 3 o'clock now morning. We have had very strong sun here for around 3 weeks. No kadon bla ren. Emogara civic all talk true lokona. So the fact that we see this blessing today, I think is testament to the fact that all people of Sepik, we have been crying for justice for a very long time. You know, Sepik tasol manus to Liglig Island blomipla la upside. So, having waited for so long, it is indeed pleasing. And I know that this project started in 2005. And I hear our senior Honorable Maru speak about houses. Now, me like making one blato clear lo you me people of Sepik. Me no been stopped this la time. Papa Somare have been running province blomipla lo this la time. Now, Sepik provincial government have been allocating 2 block ground. This la lo walking courthouse. Na mountain upside lo upside there, me call him Judge's Hill. All judge is supposed to sit down antap lo hapia na bakam walk lo here. Inside lo namel time, some lo you me Sepik yet, only go lo backside na all kisim this la ground. Time me come up governor, me find out some kapak lo upside here, lo provincial government. Wambla mantu ikona, wambla Sepik ken ikona kisim title lo hap, but them kapak lo provincial government. So you me Sepik too, you me must same lo kind of passing blow you me where something am supposed to stop lo benefit him you me ogada one money come go lo backside next. In fact, when I became governor, you look in this la white pla building yeah, NID building. NID building been stopped inside lo kapak where emblo provincial government. That's all time old man kisim sila ground. Me pla provincial government we could not use the NID building. So mipla come out him can this NID building lo kapak na suru him come inside lo administration so we could use it. Naam delay NID program blomipla for almost 5 years. We couldn't do it. So now, me like make it to clear lo ipla osem. Something blo government, something blo look out him yumi yoga daya, please. No can one man kisim kam ko lo backside na you kisim was a private something blo you. You bla look him tamblo long. Taunia you bla look him desla easy ko building sanapia. Em ground blo government. All man like kisim ogada quantum kapak ya na mi go force na mi put him colta inside na mi to no kadam kapak blo public. You one man non have come na kisim. So me like to strong lo yumi people blo Sepik we something emi stop lo yumi ogada. Na mi sawe osem suppose me play got money now me play put him money lo make sure osem you play got service. But when we have enough money we will go to court and we will take back all the land that belongs to the people of Sepik. Kain pasinia must stop. Sorry me talk, but me like him CJ must harim. When the more the judges must harim. When them kind heavy MSA come up now. All of these things are contributing to the breakdown of law and order in our province and in our entire country. Because 2 months are take advantage na go backside na kisimo something. Na yumi ogara sa bell heavy. And the problem is our young people are watching these actions. And they are learning from these actions. Now you may wonder why all young people walking all kind of bigot passing. Because only line him all papa. Only no sim lo we. Moving on. Time miplay bin sit down na talk lo bring him papa I come na silipi mem lo upside we emiat bin gad like lo stop. Mipla look sabe or some courthouse by stop lo here. Na mi like talk sa lo people blow Sepik or some administration lo upside ba mipla rausim. Suruki mi go down. Na nupla provincial assembly embasana bla upside ya. This la ground stop la happy. The plan is that mipla like working photocopy lo wanem sanista lo Mosby go parliament house stop, courthouse stop, seat of government. Mipla lucky. Seat of government by stop lo house, seat of justice by stop lo here. Na papa blo country am stop lo upside. So me like just talk sabe tasol nung narla man la kam golo backside na rausim this la ground and midla bagat big la crossfight. You bagat problem one me. Me like look sabe tu lo this la leadership long late Justice Kiruam. I've been serving me long time. Na mi bin gat ting lo desla na mi sawa se na papa somare am tupla man lo drink wine na walking all kind story lo tupla na this la something I come up. So me like look sabe lo desla. I think at some point, and CJ, while you're here, we did have a conversation to name this facility after the late judge, but I'm something lo considering behind time. I think I discussed with the DCJ. Let me also acknowledge Justice Gaeta, lo service blame lo mibla people lo this la region, and now Justice Frank and staff. Me like look sabe tu osem na strong him talk where Honorable Maru make him. This la facility am stop lo ya, am vision lo papa. I mean no stop na, now ting dreaman blong am karim kai so, me like look sabe lo this la. Me like making one bla talk or some on a lighter note. It's taken, I think we started this in 2005, and I heard the story from Justice Batari about all of the issues that happened, a delay na one. I think the judiciary is lucky, no one can criticize you. Mibla lo government, if we don't fix something for 6 months, I'm tribal criticism, mibla sa eximia. Na mibla sa appeal impen blol people, so me like just making this la comment. I want to say this for the benefit of not only our dignitaries, but some Yumi people blo Sepik. Yumi lucky. We have the first world-class hospital in this country, I'm sit down Tamblo Loboron. We now have a world-class court facilities sitting up here. The work that's underway, the airport will be extended. We will have a world-class airport. Plant is something where you may know that before, and you may kiss him now, but me like just throw him this la have talk on top. This la courthouse you may got, this la house you may got Tamblo, Emblo saving people blo triple province. Sundown lo upside, mibla lo here, na manus upside lo solwara. Emblo you may triple one them. So me like talk side of people blow Wewak or some you may ask this la look sabe time online outside they come Even, I think, lo housing no go do line lo medeng tu by kam. Because you may got some services lo here where country no got them start lo here. So me like him osem, you me people must look somewhere osem, yes, plenty something you me no got lo plenty yes, but now all something here work will come. So even though you may no kiss him lo before, we know that in the future these things will come. This afternoon, I will be meeting with the Deputy Commissioner of Police who is sitting with us here. Now, me like talk sawe also, I heard you, Justice Batari, on your plans about where to place other court facilities. One kind also support, me like give him long police, CIS commander is staff, CIS commander by talk sawe also, provincial government he help him. You blow very Sepik no can biget, but suppose you play hard lo behaving you play it, na you play style heavy. You got nupla banis blong all mama, now I'm stop inside long. House Karabus where provincial government he hold him hand want them. CIS lo build him nupla house Karabus blol Mary. In the future, by me bla build him can blol biget man too. Me bla by hold him hand want them CIS na make him same kind work. One kind also, mibla by meeting lo now abinun want them PPC, now want them commissioner belong police. Lo one em have ba mibla put him one pla highway patrol unit inside lo province lo look at him tupla want them East na West Sepik. That discussion will be held this afternoon. So I want to say to Justice Batari and your team that wherever you pick a location, lo one em have you pla tinti lo work. Same Torovi want them administration staff. We are ready to work with you so that we can make sure that these facilities are available for the people of Greater Sepik na Manus one time. Plandi bloy play harim osem mi biniga ting long na mi harim samla tok blong Honorable Maru now morning mi harim tok blong Justice Batari na mi like tok osem. Time me stop yet long opposition, me want them now treasurer Ian Ling Staki, me to play bin tok plenty long labor mobility program lo golo Australia. Na time me been sit down and negotiate want them all Governor Undialu na Governor Powi long surukim Ian Ling Staki go inside long help him government, me stop lo National Alliance this time. Part lo discussion lo mipla and mipla tok all agreement. One time more line lo pangu des la time and mosem time Ian Links taki kama treasurer labor mobility bamibla rausim long Department of Labor na karimigo lo treasury. That was part of our negotiations in 2019-20. So me like making this la. Now reason why me yet personally me got interest lo slam because me like sending him head lo young club lo yumi. Me like Salim ol young club lo yumi go down long Australia na all by gonna look him how. Because plenty blow you no sagolo medeng tu, you no sagolo manus tu, even lo golong, hapside long, West Sepik, you no sago, you sa start ta solo place. Na head blow you em lock ta solo place, especially you plow young plaman Mary. So me amamas lo toki mi plow sem first 20 pla, East Sepik provincial government salimigo pinis. Na me like talk all sem, you plow Mary Sepik, you plow mas proud. This all first Mary Sepik go down here, all win him over the line, all win him man na Mary want them lo walk. I'm all Mary Sepik make him. Maybe I got problem when the sample all picking him man or mangi Sepik, and some of them will be coming back home soon. If I can be able to send 10,000 East and West Sepik, go down lo walk down to Australia, I want to tell you that I will do it. Not so much lo ibla gonna walk money, but me like him head him as senis. High thinking blomi lo support him this labor mobility program, you know lo ibla gonna work money. Me talk na ibla no harim, so me like Salim ibla go down. Na me like talking ibla interesting story. Time ibla bungi mo yang pla man na Mary Sepik na oli sit down na. Australian Federal Police ikam na tok longo lo law Australia. Na how police law Australia sa operate. Na one pla yang pla Mary Sepik em sanap na talk. Me pla lo place. Mibla can buy one black cotton beer na give lo policeman na mibla can kisi license. Now Australian Federal Police white man ya pes program go red. I'm to well you can't do that in Australia. In Australia you make you one la lily wrong you fight him man tasol all holy mu na karabusim yustre. Justice system law no sa play up na milu ora Sepik all sinon na blood law go call. So me talking all Me like Salim you bla go down, you know you bla go na walk money na picking fruit na one. Me like you bla go na, but you bla look sawe lo justice system lo Australia. Them high thinking blow me talk you bla now. Na me trome me talk yellow I blong all judges blow me now. All must understand him why me bla like make him this level something. And I want to say this to our policemen and women who are here listening, everyone in the judicial services. Reason why Sepik why katapeli go big pla, reason why grass knife mi pla ko katiman, the reason why that hospital down there, the number of people treated for trauma is higher than in Afghanistan, which is a war zone. Borom house a deal one meme. We had to hire extra surgeons. Just lo samabimol man na katim na rausim waya katapel. We can't keep doing that. Last time me Salim wambla message lo PPC na me the PPC, what can we do about this waya katapel problem? Na me wait yet long. Now I've been on by mibla meeting, but I want to say this to those of you who are responsible for dispensing justice. Believe blomi emosem. Time picking ni biget ya mi plus a solapi mem hurry up through nem sa pilim pen nem sa senis in biget blongem. Me feeling blomi, and I've said this when Justice Cyril was here na mi pla opening one bla court here. I believe that our effectiveness and the speed at which we deliver justice is too slow. Too slow. I laid a complaint when I was chairman of the hospital about monies that went missing. It took 6 years for us to get a conviction. I don't know whether that is normal in the judiciary, and I'm not here to criticize your processes. I am just stating an observation respectfully. But me feel also, as leader belong all people belong me here, lo greater Sepik, me feel also. Suppose justice system me walk one time speed. Who said man me walk in trouble, you me hold him pass him hurry up, kiss him come. Inside lo legally short la time, you me charge him, convict him, na me go silip lo borom. And by line him lesson blong him. Now all poro blong him too by line him lesson. Suppose you me no make him all same. You me give him talk right law, bigot passing must go big pla. Was him believe blow me. So there is a reason why inside lo Sepik province, budget priority blow me lo this la year. Law and order first, energy second. I mentioned this last night and I want to say it again today. Law and order and first. To this day, there's like 10 million kina provincial service improvement, PSIP fund blow, Sepik, me play no allocate him yet. Sit down yet. Because I'm waiting for the police. Me like in police come, na you play talking me or some, how much by costing you play building this la something. Where me play can kiss him 50 or 100 extra policemen inside the province. Whatever you tell us, and I have told your minister, Sepik provincial government, me play put him half. Now you play national government put him half. Let's build this thing. Me play got big cocoa program. The issue now, and justices, I want you to hear this. You will not see hold-ups in town. Our hold-ups are happening in the villages. The reason for that is that we started a cocoa program. And our village people are all making money now. I mean, there are some villages are making 70, 80,000 kina every 2 weeks. So Raskol mania, I'm going to have when no got police, I'm waiting PMV, I'm hold up no man no place. Now still no man no place, town no got. So we have a challenge to actually go out and curb the lawlessness, but more than that, you may need to put in planting inside the house Karabus. Senior Honorable Maru and talk pinisna, me repeat him this la talk. Most importantly, me feel also, because of the abuses I just mentioned about people taking land, kind of bigot passing work come up, you know, all of the corruption that we hear about, read about, it's leading to society losing trust. Losing trust in members of parliament. Mipla member of parliament and Mipla lose trust long time yet. Ogara man sa ting ose Mipla ogara member of parliament, Mipla con man na still man da sol stuff. Fortunately, you judiciary, you haven't lost that yet, CJ, if I may say that to you. So I think it's important that in our system of government, the judiciary continues to maintain and protect the integrity of the entire state. And it's important that the justice process is streamlined so that justice is delivered speedily and on time. One time all this la talk, me like talk osem. You me got plenty work lo work him yet. Sepik province of government, Sundown province of government, me plus I work boom holimhan. You again look him governor wo stop administrator blonge me sit down the backside. We have been working together around this greater Sepik idea since 2017 and we continue to do that. We work together, we share resources. You miss a helping one blah blah. So if you're looking for a partner, I put it to the judiciary that we are a reliable and dependable partner. Lo finish him talk, me like talk also, thank you, you go long. O'Neill government, start lo papa somare yet, 9 million and put him, one ML contribution belong O'Neill government. Now Maraperoso government, he finish him. On behalf of the people of Sundown, people of Sepik, one time Manus, me talk big pla thank you, lo all get a government one time. Last talk, igolo yumi all people blow this pla triple province. Government he put in this la something lo look out him yumi, lo look out him all worry blow yumi. Me ask him can all young pla blow yumi inside lo Kreer Heights. Yumi show him respect lo this la facility. I me start lo save him yumi, ino lo save him on Narbla line. Let's look after it. Me sa talk him you pla all gonna time osem. Yumi Sepik, because man me lead him. This pla country go long independence me silip. Here, namelo yumi, papa blo yumi. Yumi Sepik must show him good play example long Narbla ol piginini blo Papua New Guinea. It has to start from here. If change is going to come from somewhere, it must start here. Yumi Sepik yumi make him ol Narbla by behind him. So me like put him sla challenge he go lo yumi ol gada. One of this la me finish him talk na me talk also. May God bless our great country, and may God bless all of humanity. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Allan Bed, Sepik Governor. With the Chief Justice indulgence, and I beg your indulgence, rather, and Justices Allan Batari and Kenneth Frank, the judge manager of this court area. Let me share a lighter moment. In the judicial discourse, we usually have interpreters. We're very important people in the courtroom. And the most famous one, possibly in the country, is the late John Parenjo. And so I will share one of his interpreters' slip in the courtroom to share a lighter moment with all the serious talk going on. Today it's raining. One day he was interpreting, and I can't remember which of the judges. He was interpreting in the old courthouse up at the Wewak Hill. And the defendant in the defendant's box, or rather accused box, did not appear in court the day before. And he was brought into court the next day on a bench warrant. And the judge proceeded to ask him as to why he absconded the day before. And in Pidgin, he said, Your Honor, big rain na wind long boykin na waray I solap na minunap long kalapim wara na kam long court. And the interpretation applied to that by late John Parenjo was, Your Honor, there was a big storm in Boykin, and the storm made the river pregnant. And I could not get over the pregnant river to come to court. And that's one to the famous late John Parenjo. With that, ladies and gentlemen, it is my greatest of pleasure and honor to now call on the Chief Justice, Honorable Chief Sir Gibuma Gibbs Salika, to deliver his keynote speech. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Master of Ceremony, Mr. Jeroy. The people of Sepik, you play come harem talk long opening long display new pla kotas long Wewak. We talk thank you that you play braved the lick rain you put down. You play come me play talk thank you lo you. Me play stop it long shelter na me play stop right, but you play still standing there long harem one can talk all by me play talk long you play. Thank you long resilience lo you play long display. Thank you. Now to me like acknowledge him. Bishop, thank you long prayer blow you. Beautiful prayer you put him, you walk him long mipla, long God bless him this la. Kotas na bless him walk long mipla, na bless him mipla walk man. Mary long this place. Thank you. Me recognize him sampla where you may not recognize him. I'm secretary for the Law Reform and Constitutional Committee too, or at least me staff long amongst us. Dr. Matui, Mange Matui, to him been staff long among us. So thank you. I will now come to welcome, acknowledge our Minister, Honorable Pila Niningi. I've been Deputy Chief Justice and now Chief Justice, and I have set those 15 years as a member of the JLSC. The chairman of the JLSC is the Minister for Justice usually. And you are arguably the best performing Justice Minister and Chairman of the Judicial and Legal Services Commission in your short time. Thank you. The support I have received from you, Minister Niningi, is enormous. You have supported the judiciary in a big way. Talk lo you long parliament na meetings, long cabinet, mi harem mi hamas long talk lo you. And you have allowed your other colleague ministers to support him work lo you, long him judiciary and the Department of Justice and law and justice sector agencies all together. So me got big plamas long work lo you give him. Me talk, you are arguably the best performing minister that I have worked under since me come up member belong JLSC. Thank you. I also acknowledge a senior minister of the government from the Sepik province, member for Yanguru, Mr. Richard Maru. Richard, your presence here means a lot to the judiciary and to the people of East Sepik, and also to your own electorate, the Yanguru people. But let me say this. Out of all the time I come here along court circuit as a lawyer from the 1980s, he come here. Yanguru electorate blow you, plant your trouble money, I come up. I'm winning more than Narpla districts. So what you are me looking presence blow here, thank God you are here. And also work blow you and you put him courthouse long. You talk to me long end too. Yes, you can build a courthouse and at Yanguru. This courthouse has only 3 courtrooms for judges. Circuits can be conducted from here to Yanguru, to Angorum, to Maprik, to Aitape from here. Yes, all we need is 300,000 to 400,000 kina from each of the districts to build a Buimo model courthouse in each of those districts. And we will have judges to circuit from here to go to those districts. Yanguru will probably, Maprik. Maprik is almost like a district of its own. It's like a province of its own. It's a big town. I remember in the 1983, we did a circuit. I did a circuit to Maprik with Justice Stan Corey. We drove from here, we stayed there for a week, we held we had our court cases at the council chamber. I stayed there in the guest house. I don't know whose guest house it was, but Saigo thatched roof, Mipla Silip Longen. So these are the kind of things I'm talking about. We are trying to come out from those into the modern era. And so we want to get some commitment from Maprik member to commit some 300,000 to 500,000 kina. We will partner that as Governor Itoktok. We will partner to build a good courthouse, more model courthouse in Maprik so that we can have court circuits there. All right. Then I also acknowledge the other members of the parliament that are present here. The governor for West Sepik, your province is very important. It's an important province. We intend and we aim to build your courthouse in the near future. We are planning all those at the moment. Thank you. The other sectors of the law and justice sector agencies, I acknowledge you. From the Department of Police, you've got your Deputy Commissioner of Operations, Ms. Joanne Clark. You are here, we thank you, representing the police. And Correctional Services, we recognize you. The Defense Force, we recognize you. As I said, it was never a mistake when our government decided to put 2 PIR here in the East Sepik province. It was a strategic move to have the 2 PIR based at Moem Barracks, and you are still here since independence. This is a very strategic province, very important province. All Japan come here, now they were stopped from here, and that's where the war stopped. And that was one of the reasons why strategically government put in the 2 PIR at Moem Barracks. Thank you. All the other dignitaries, Chief Magistrate and your deputy, we recognize you. The Department of Justice, Attorney General, Secretary, Dr. Kwa, thank you. Public Prosecutor, Public Solicitor, Secretary for National Judicial Staff Service. Okay, let me make it clear. The Department of Justice is part of the executive arm of the government. The national, and that is headed by the minister together with his departmental secretary, Dr. Eric Kwa. The judiciary is separate from the Department of Justice. It is the third arm of the government. So don't mistake and don't confuse us with the executive and the judiciary. Executive is the Department of Justice, and which head is the Minister for Justice. The judiciary is a separate arm of the government. It is the third arm of the government. And the Chief Justice is the head of the third arm of the government. And the Chief Justice is supported in that work by the judges. The Chief Justice runs the judiciary in consultation with the judges. The work of the Chief Justice is to consult with the judges on policy matters. The decisions are made by the Chief Justice. All that the Chief Justice is required to do is consult with them, and the Chief Justice makes the call and makes the decision. And that's the role I am playing at the moment. I consult with the judges, I make the decisions. And on the best advice I get from them, consultations, and from the best advice I get from my, there are two heads in the judiciary as well. The Secretary for National Judicial Staff Service. That position is held by Jack Carrico, and he is here present. He is responsible for our finances, which is the very big component of the running of any institution. Finance and corporate services, human resources, he looks after those. But the engine room of the entire judiciary, the operational work of the judiciary belongs to the registrar. Registrar, you stop, you sign up now, all by looking at me. That is the main man. This is the main man that me rely on for the running of the judiciary. This courtroom, this courthouse is built to be digital. Everything here will be paperless. And the registrar runs the show on that aspect, on that front. He will bring the digitalization program to this courthouse. This court will be a paperless court. You will not register your cases by paper, by this kind of document. It's all digital. Your smartphone, your laptop, all will be coming through here, through our registry services. And the court services will run from there. And we intend to do that nationwide. We'll roll it out nationwide, and that's happening as we speak today. That's happening as we speak today. 2 weeks ago, and there will be no room for corruption, no room for saying one thing and trying to pull a wool over the judges or magistrates' eyes and ears that, oh, I came and I filed my documents here this time, and what happened to them? 2 weeks ago, I had last month I had an election petition, and a competency issue was taken up. And competency issue was that, no, the document you filed here, you uploaded from outside of the court. It came to the registry people registered it. That petition was not signed, and it was not attested to by witnesses. After the normal 40 days period has finished, another petition was filed by the same person, but this time it was signed and attested to. He filed an affidavit saying that he had come on the 40th day and filed a document in the courtroom, and that where was that petition that he filed. I said, okay, well, what is the evidence? Our court services, the registrars people came, they filed affidavits. No, the petition you filed on the 40th day, yes, that was filed in time. Unfortunately, that petition was not signed, and it was never attested to. And then 2 days later, after the 40 days had expired, you filed another petition. This time it was signed and attested to. It was the right form that you sent. But unfortunately, that petition that you signed and attested, they came 2 days out of time. That made my job easier. You can come and file your affidavit, which could be a lie, deliberate lies that you're telling the court. Anybody, me, I could even believe you for what you said in your affidavit. But the digital form of registration will not lie. It's there for me to. So I saw that the affidavit by our registry staff. I told the petitioner, digital recording does not lie. You lied. Your petition is invalid. End of the story. Made my job very easy. Within a few days, that petition went out. So that is where we are going. That is what we are going to be providing in all the court services throughout the country. That there will be none of that nonsense anymore. It will all be digitalized. Anybody tries to tamper with it, the system will record it, and we will follow and find out who tampered with the system. That's the kind of system that we have already working in Waigani, and it is being rolled out in Medeng and in Ley, and it will roll out to this registry that is now will be open today. So that's the kind of services that we are going to be rolling out to the people of Papua New Guinea. It is currently going on as we speak, and the main man who is driving this is the registrar of the National and the Supreme Courts. So the person you see over there is the main man, is the right man that people must call if you want any services to be done on that kind of work. He is the man. He supports the judiciary. He does all the work. His people do the work, brings the documents for me to approve and sign, and I only do the signing and approvals. So that's what happens. In relation to the system, Governor, you talk long, and okay, justice, Kisim justice is a process. Getting quick justice is a process. There is a process. And I'm happy that the law and justice sector agencies are here. We have a system that already is operating not fully as yet in Waigani. When I met police, well, the public are the first people that start the process. Complain to the police. They complain to the police. Police then must record it in their occurrence book. What we have now created is an electronic system that will record all that complaint at the police station where that complaint is made. It records it. Then automatically the police then send that report, complaint, and when the arrest is made, it is then made to the district court, to the chief magistrate and his magistrates. And then they process it there. And then when the person is committed to trial, they then automatically, with a push of buttons, transfer it to the national court. And then when at the national court, we process it, they bring it to the criminal tracks for us to deal with over there. So that is the process that we have. And along the way, there will be delays. Ideally, we'd like those processes to be, consistently working in tandem and in swift time. But that is not happening for various reasons. Logistics, non-understanding, and all that kind of thing. That is one of the reasons why there is inefficiency and slowness in achieving those results quickly. That's what we all are about. We want to get the thing processed quickly so justice can be delivered swiftly and in a cost-effective way, both in the criminal litigation processes and in the national and the civil litigation processes. We have a program called the Integrated Electronic Case Management System, already operating in Waigani and in some parts of Ley and in Medang. We've got those processes already operating, and that process is tailored for the civil litigation cases. You file your complaint via your smartphones, and it is picked up by the registry. 3 or 4 seconds later, it's picked up by the registry if the internet services are working well. It should work. It should take 3 or 4 seconds, 5 seconds to get your process recorded or registered. It goes straight to the registry. Our registrar collects it. It's registered and recorded. And that's what happened to the petition that me Tok Tok Lo Yupla past time. Yeah, that's what happened to the petitioner. He loaded from outside on time, but that was unsigned. And it was recorded in our received that same 3 or 5 seconds after he uploaded it. It was recorded in the system automatically. It is automatically recorded. And so no human hands are in play there to mess up or tamper with the systems. So that's the way we are moving. And I'm serious about those as well, so that any misgivings about, we tamper with documents and we are also corrupt in the judiciary and in the registry. That's what we are doing to correct our side of the story, so that the public are properly informed and are told that, no, we are doing everything possible to root out corruption and any inkling of ideas about corruption being bred in the judiciary. And so, thank you very much. And I'm most honored to officiate at this historic event and in the opening of this court building. Before I forget, Sepik has had its fair share of judges. We had Bernard Narakobi, who was the first judge appointed to the National Court of Papua New Guinea, and soon thereafter, some years after him, Justice Moses Jalina was appointed. Justice Moses Jalina and myself, we were appointed about the same time. I got appointed in December of '89, and he got appointed in the 1st of January 1990. And so we both served there. Unfortunately, he passed on during his, I think, second term in office while he was serving in Enga. So after Moses Jalina, then we've had Justice Yagi, Justice Maru, and that is why the Sepik judges are here. Don't think that I brought them for nothing. I brought them for a purpose, to show you that Sepik have also contributed to the manpower of the judiciary. One is not here. Recently, and I appointed one acting judge. They're waiting for the increase of the numbers. Acting Justice Tracy Ganai, she's a Sepik from Yanguru. And then another one, I got him appointed. Also, Paul Tusais, we had him confirmed recently as well. And then Acting Justice Koopman, I just recently appointed him. I told him, I made you acting judges, you make yourself a substantive judge. That has always been my message to the acting judges. I made you an acting judge, you make yourself a substantive judge. And so I told him that, and I appointed him because I was in charge of the fraud and corruption track. He appeared before me, convicted many, and he prosecuted many fraud and corruption cases before me. I know what he's made of. And so that is why I pushed for his appointment. So Acting Justice Koopman. Right now he's in Daru, serving my people there for a circuit there. Yeah. So Sepik, you have contributed immensely to the production of judges in this country. Sepik, your judge, Mikhail, is serving he's a very strong judge, very, very good judge, and he's serving faithfully. I appointed him also as a judge of the Court of Appeal in Nauru as well. So that's how I have favored, not because I favor you guys, no. On merit. I appointed these guys on merit. I appointed him to be the judge also of the Court of Appeal in Nauru. So he serves on the Court of Appeal in Nauru on merit. Yeah. Because I know how they work. I know these people work very hard. And so thank you very much. Yes. One of the key focus areas for the judiciary are set out in our new corporate plan, 2023-2027. I launched that program not a long time ago. I think last month I launched that corporate plan done by Secretary NJSS and his staff, and the registrar and his staff, to bring the higher courts closer to the people of Papua New Guinea, and that's what we are doing today. We're bringing the judicial services closer to the people of Papua New Guinea. That ensures our court facilities are in both the provinces and the districts. The judiciary is improving its infrastructure by building court facilities in the regional areas and the districts to realize this ambition. The court's expansion, as witnessed by these new quotas, is in line with the various court user forums and the new judiciary corporate plan of 2023 and 2027. Infrastructure is one of 6 focus areas in the judiciary's corporate plan, and so addressing the infrastructure priorities ensures that there is a strategic alignment of our corporate plan with the focus areas and priorities of the judiciary. The opening of the Wewak courthouse is important not only because it is a new building with more space and improved facilities. This courthouse will usher in a new era for justice in Papua New Guinea by permitting the judiciary to increase the number of resident judges to deliver faster disposition of an ever-increasing caseload. This new courthouse has the potential to house the 3-tier court structure with the Court of Appeal that will improve the quality of justice, and it will also facilitate the completion of digitalization of court records and online case management that will in turn speed up the judicial process. This new courthouse will be complemented by our current work on modernization and digitalization of the court systems, which is consistent with our corporate plan, and it remains a crucial priority for the judiciary. The e-based systems currently being implemented will ensure that there is an improvement in the access to quality justice for all. The rollout of the integrated electronic case management system, which I mentioned a few minutes ago, or simply IECMS, and the integrated criminal case management database for ICCSD, both online systems will provide a platform for stakeholders such as lawyers, law firms, and/or litigants to file court documents and proceedings electronically or e-filing. This courthouse will be an e-filing courthouse. And we have resource materials. The judiciary has created resource materials. Apart from the PACLI, we've got PACLI that is housed in Vanuatu. Well, the judiciary of Papua New Guinea has created its own resource tool, which is called PNG Lean. PNG Lean. Lawyers, you can have access to that resource base, resource thing. You want to look for case authorities, Supreme Court authorities on any fraud case or any criminal law case, simply write in the the keywords to a case, willful murder. They will show up on your smartphone or on your laptop. Resource tools are now immediately available to the judges and to the lawyers, both private lawyers and public lawyers. To anybody, police officers, you will have access to those resources. And so that in doing that, we are speeding up the processes. We are making research much simpler and easier. In quite apart from what we did when we were given problems, we used to go to the library, spend hours and hours on doing legal research to do that work. Now, when I press of a button, it all appears and gives it to you. Technology innovation is seen as the driver of change in improving performance at all levels of the judiciary, namely in the speed at which cases are disposed, in the production of accurate and immediate data available within the registries within a few seconds, in the efficient working and improved performance and reporting of central divisions such as human resources and finance, in bringing global solutions to local challenges through improved connectivity. Connectivity is one aspect of our work which we are currently struggling with. We have connectivity here in Wewak, at the old Wewak courthouse there. We have a dish there, satellite dish. It's linked to a Pacific. That's where it's up in the clouds. Our storage of our records and our documents, it's out in the clouds. It's up in the clouds. And so we have you can tamper with things here, but nobody tampers with records up in the clouds. Unless you are a very smart IT person, then you might be able to tamper with them. But I don't think we have got there yet. That is why our theme for our budget strategy, Minister, it won't be long. You and I will take you with me, with the Chief Magistrate. For the first time last year, and Minister, the Minister for Justice mentioned it. For the first time, the magistracy had been putting its budget proposals with the other sectors of the executive arm of the government. Last year, I told the Chief Magistrate, you bring your submissions to me. I will incorporate it in the together with the higher court's budget proposal. We take it to the Prime Minister, and we did. Minister, myself, Chief Magistrate, took our budget, including the magistracy's budget, to the National Executive Council. The judiciary's budget does not go to the bureaucracy. It goes straight to cabinet. So that's what we do. The judiciary does. In the next 2 weeks, 2 weeks just before the end of August, I will be taking the judiciary's budget to the Prime Minister, and again I will ask the Chief Magistrate to give his budget proposal to me. And that's why and how they got their increase in their budget, because it went straight to the cabinet. So, Chief Magistrate, you are asked to prepare your budget quickly, because in the next 2 weeks, I'm taking the judiciary's budget. You must join me during the time to take it to the Prime Minister. Thank you. Our budget strategy for 2024 is harnessing or harvesting technology to deliver an effective and efficient judicial service. That's my budget strategy for 2024. The NEC has endorsed the recommendations of an increase in the maximum number of judges permitted under the legislation from 40 to 60. But after I did my sums, if I have about 15 to 20 judges in Waigani, 5 to 6 judges in Ley, 5 to 6 judges in Mount Hagen, 5 to 6 judges in Kokopo, and about 5 judges here in Wewak, and the rest 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1. That should take care of all our problems. Now, the main aspect of this is that, yes, the judiciary can have all its judges placed everywhere in the provinces. That must come with, and I think somebody mentioned it earlier, that must come with the executive's part to provide the lawyers, both in the public solicitor's office and the state solicitor's office, the solicitor general's office, and the public prosecutor's office. The executive must provide funding and increase the number of lawyers serving in those offices so that justice can run smoothly without any incidences of delayed. And that's one of the reasons why things get delayed, because cases are adjourned because there are no lawyers available to either prosecute or defend, or no defending lawyers from the Solicitor General's office or the State Solicitor's office. And as a result, the courts have to adjourn to give time to those people, those other officers, to come and be before the court. Together with that, the government needs to continue to support the police. The recent failure in prosecution successfully of some cases is due to no training, in my view, with respect, of proper investigating processes by the police. The public prosecutor is only as good as the investigation that is done right there where the crime has been committed. I am talking to you as a former senior state prosecutor. I was only as good as what was done at the ground, at the investigation. If they did a good job in investigating the case, gave me all the evidence, you are my meat. And I tried to get them to plead guilty. They deny me, I'll catch you up there. I'll grill you at the witnesses box. And I did. And then then later on, I would recommend to the police commissioner, at the time it was Henry Tokam and Ila Gena was director crimes. And some of those constables who were constables from nothing, because of our relationship with them, they got promoted. That was the bargain that we had with them. You do your work, we'll promote you. And many of them became inspectors, chief inspectors, superintendents, because of that relationship that we had in the earlier days of our careers, in my career. That is not happening anymore. That is fallen by the wayside. And the police, in their investigating field, it's poor. It's not done now anymore. And so, the minister has requested for 120. We may not get there in a long time, but 60 probably will be enough to do all the work in the country. Improved and expanded court infrastructure in Wagani and elsewhere will enable recruitment of the additional judges considered necessary to meet the ever-growing number of cases. Every new judge appointment entails additional registry and judicial support staff, vehicles, accommodation, and equipment. Such resources need to be justified in the output of every judge, measured by the quantum of cases disposed, speed of judgment delivery, and quality of judgments. Targets are set so that the backlog of cases is reduced and the courts keep pace with the increased inflow of new cases. Improved and targeted training and technological support will enhance the ability of judges to meet such targets. All these developments would not have been possible without the vision and foresight of those that have come and gone before me. And so I think of our first Chief Justice, Sir Buri Kidu, Sir Anil Ahmed, Sir Mari Kapi, and Sir Salamo Injia. I think of them and their contributions to the work of the judiciary over these 47 years of our independence. And it would be remiss of me not to acknowledge the previous work undertaken by my predecessors, Sir Salamo, and the work of Justice Nicholas Kiruam. The Wewak Courthouse project was initiated in the time of former Chief Justices Ahmed, Kapi, Injia, including past and present court buildings and facilities committee chairs, as in the likes of Sir Salamo, Justice Gavarananu, and currently Justice Batari. In the same vein, I would also like to acknowledge the work of the late Justice Kiruam, who was an active member of this court Infrastructure Committee from its inception until his passing. At this juncture, I also like to pay my respects and gracious appreciation to others have mentioned him, to the late Grand Chief Sir Michael Somare, one of our founding fathers of our nation, former Prime Minister, former Governor of the Sepik province, and is now laying rest in peace. The Grand Chief was instrumental in ensuring that this land, which the courthouse stands, was made available in addition to funding support when he was Prime Minister, and that has been mentioned already. I take note of the work they did. The Minister mentioned it, and he correctly mentioned at the time that all these people were not well educated. The only people who were educated then was John Mommis, and many times we forget to acknowledge Father Ignatius Kilage as well. He worked together with Father John Mommis. Two of them were Tupla Pater. Two of them served also closely together. And of course, Narokobi and others who were just finished from the university. And Somare, when they were, the Australians and others were asking, how are you going to run this country? When you are pushing for independence, how are you going to run this country? And he told them, I have up and coming youngsters. He meant Tony Siaguru, Peter Donigi, and all the others, Paul Bengo, the others, Charles Lepani, all the others, Buri Kidu. He mentioned all those. These guys are going to help me build Papua New Guinea. And here we are, 47 years later. This is what he foresaw, and this is what we have. And so that's the great vision of our great leader and the Grand Chief, Sir Michael Somare, one of our founding fathers. And he ensured that the Constitution, the Bill of Rights that our Master of Ceremony mentioned, when you sat with him, every lawyer that sat with him in relation and talked to him about human rights, he said, yes, I ensured that those Bill of Rights that Americans don't have in their Constitution, I ensured that that was put in the Papua New Guinea Constitution. And they are indeed part of the Papua New Guinea Constitution. You read from sections 36 all the way to section 57, all talks about human rights of the Constitution. They talk about human rights. So Michael Somare ensured those were there. You see the preamble of the Constitution? That's the work of Father Mommis, Ignatius Kilage, and Bernard Narokobi. That's their work. Handmark blongol, finger blongol. Bernard Narokobi, he in his 20 years independence presentation, that document is titled Work of My Little Finger. I gave him a copy. I said, you need to have a copy. Look at this copy. Author belong this document and probably you. And I refer it all the time. All the time, I refer him on my speeches and in my judgments as well. So I pay respect to late Bernard Narokobi. Bernard Narokobi was Minister for Justice when I got appointed as a judge. So Buri Kidu, Justice, 2 judges were going finish. And Buri Kidu wanted a judge to come immediately to replace those 2 Australian judges. He called me and he said, do you want to come to the judge to serve as a judge here? I said yes. And then it took me a while to say yes. I consulted before earlier. And then after I got appointed, he could not get the minister to empanel the JLSC to appoint me. So Buri Kidu made telephone calls to Minister Narokobi, who was then minister. By then, he had already been judge. And I appeared before him, before Justice Narokobi, in Wabeg, in Hagen, and in Alatau. I sat as a lawyer. I appeared as counsel before him. So when Chief Justice Buri Kidu mentioned to him that he was going to recommend me to act as a judge, all that Minister Narokobi told him was, put him on. That's the only words Narokobi. Later on, me talked one time, and he said, yeah, I told Sir Buri to put you on. So that's how and why you are now here as a judge. So me mas long this plan because civic minister for justice and been appointed me, marking me judge long 1990. Thank you. and his son is here now as a judge. No comments from here. But he's here on merit. In conclusion, I would like to state here that the year 2024 will see most facets of judicial operations become more and more effective and efficient by using e-based technology, that is electronic-based technology. Electronic-based case management, database, and management reporting systems will become fully operational, and courthouses all around the country will be linked together by an integrated satellite network providing unlimited and uninterrupted bandwidth. Judges will be far better equipped and resourced to tackle the ever-increasing caseload and reduce the backlog of cases. The engagement of more lawyers in the Department of Justice and Attorney General will also be a prerequisite, especially in the Office of the Public Solicitor, the Public Prosecutor, the State Solicitor, the Solicitor General, and other state agencies responsible for law and justice. Where the number of lawyers needs to be doubled, more judges and more courtrooms mean more prosecutors and more defense attorneys and more litigation lawyers in the government state offices, in the Solicitor General and in the state, in the Solicitor General's office and in the State Solicitor's office. Internally within the judiciary, there will be need to recruit more qualified IT or information technology technical officers to roll out technology in the provinces with a view to scan and file electronically and paperless court documents. The emphasis of the judiciary's corporate plan up from this year to 2027 and reflected in the budget strategy is improved performance and deliverables at all levels. Adequate infrastructure resources will soon be enhanced dramatically. Improved governance arrangements are about to be implemented so that institutional capacity can be enhanced. The availability of training at all levels is expanding. All the elements of a performing government institutions are in place to ensure that justice is no longer delayed and access to justice is available to everyone. Before I sit down, I ask all of you, the law and justice sector agencies that are here, governors, politicians that are here, you need anything to be done in your provincial locations. My NJSS secretary and the registry are the go-to people. They will get all the information that you need to know, and then they will collect all that. They give it to me. I simply ask them, have you done your due diligence checks? Yes, we have. Then I put my, as Bernard Narokobi put it, click finger belong and go and tap along this paper. Thank you and God bless.
Thank you very much, Chief Justice, Honorable Sir Gibuma, Gibbs, Salika. One big hand again, please, ladies and gentlemen. I want to relate a conversation because I've had the opportunity of having sat with both men. Late Sir Peter Luce and late Grand Chief Sir Michael Somare. The latter was an NBC journalist in Port Moresby, residing at Hohola in the early to mid-60s. The former late Sir Luce called him and told him, called Sir Michael and told him, you by come joining party belong me, Pangu party, na by you me kiss him independence. Sir Michael hesitated. Sir Peter told him, you sabe lo talk place belong all white man. Me no sabe lo talk place belong all white man. That is the vision that started there and had taken us 47 years to be here today. And credit goes to all others, including late Sir John Guys, Sir Mauri Kiki, and all others I cannot list in my statement on this aspect. And so, thank you for the visionary leaders of yesterday. And as you can all see, the visionary leaders of today, and in the judiciary, the Chief Justice with his responsible judges are taking us forward. And the word that canvasses his entire keynote address is modernization. This is modernization when we go into the courtroom paperless. Thank you, Chief Justice, and your team. Without further ado, I will now go to the next program, which will be led by Pastor Cyril Kulunawi, SDA, Director of SDA Sepik Mission, who will lead us in special prayer for the blessing of the courthouse as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Master of Ceremony. Thank you, Chief Justice, and all the dignitaries and distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, people lo Sepik, amamas lo dislade God give him blessing kam lo yunami. Me also acknowledge him pray where Bishop and make him finish. Thank you. I think you may sit down long time, so me by kindly inviting you me lo stand as me make him this la pray. All right, you me pass him, me pray. Everlasting God, in the name of Jesus Christ, we come to you this afternoon. You are the great I am that I am. From the rising of the sun to the going down of the same, the name of the Lord is to be praised. Hallelujah to the Lamb that was slain from the foundation of the world, Jesus Christ, the righteous one, the Lion of the tribe of Judah and the Lamb of God, the bright and morning star. Today marks a milestone and history for the people of Sepik province and the wonderful island country of Papua New Guinea. As we sit and reflect, Longol Papa, you bless him all, lead him this country, we can only say to God be the glory. Thank you, Jesus, for the great things you have done to this beautiful land of PNG. Today, Mipla Sanap, Mipla Hamamas, Lord, this will all get a story. And as we tie the end of all these stories, here stands a monument that depicts and shows hard work blol money go pass and come up today. Papa, me like pray, na dedicate him this building come lo humble you today. In the name of Jesus Christ, in blessing you will bless this building. Everyone that part and parcel of this building will always remember that this blessing stands for justice and mercy to the people of this great land of PNG, Sepik province, West Sepik, and Manus province. Thank you, God, to the judiciary, Chief Justice, and all under him, and to the government of the day, the governor of this province, West Sepik, and the members of parliament, and the people of Sepik province. Maybe like give him this talk, thank you. Ruru na respect kambeg lo you. You kisim all get a big name lo this love in time. Papa God, me like pray na talk all sem. Time all sit down and make him this in lo this la courthouse. Justice will always prevail for the glory of God. Because human beings are the reason Jesus died on the cross of Calvary. We are the object by which you left the blissful land of glory, born as a baby in Bethlehem, died on the rugged cross of Calvary, because we must go home to glory one day. In the meantime, as this important arm of the government, am facilitating what is called justice to the people of this great land, I pray for your wisdom. I pray for your understanding. I pray for your knowledge. I pray for your discernment. Rain it down as the blessing of rain that is falling today. This la courthouse basanap underneath the blessing lo mando tuo. You are the great God. By you banish him na look out him. Suppose he got sambla man. Come up him sambla ting ting. Blow bagarap him this la place. All bagar him talk one them you. You but look out him this la facility, God. It is for the welfare of the people of this country and his Sepik province. Me like pray also no katim sambla kain giaman pasin ba kama bin sa lokot house ya. Ino katim sambla kain giaman bribery system. Lo hijacking process blow court case. Whatever it is, I blow you God by send down lo this court house in the days to come. You will bless this place. You will guard it. You will look after it. It will stand. Now justice here and become up justice block God for the people of this place. Thank you, God, Lord, and this pray. We give you all the glory today. Rise him, righteous face blue Jesus. Lift up your countenance and may that righteous face sign up on this courthouse as of today going forward. Sustain him, look out him, banish him, na bless him. Na let him this la house, but come up the welfare belong all people for this country and for your glory. One day when you come in the clouds of glory, may we all go home and rest for eternity. Accept him this la pray and bless everyone today for your glory. In Jesus' name, mipla one bell na mipla talk. Amen, amen, and amen. Thank you. You may can sit down.
Thank you, Pastor Kulunawi. Thank you for a very powerful prayer and blessing. We now come to the cutting of the ribbon to be carried out by the Honorable Chief Justice Sir Gibuma Gibbs Salika, together in the company of Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Honorable Pila Niningi, and the Governor of Sepik, Honorable Allan. Could you distinguished gentlemen rise to proceed with the ceremonial attendance? We'll come this way. No, unveiling is the second one, afterwards. Cutting the ribbon first, it's here on the program. Don't confuse me in the last minute, okay? I'm looking at the program. That's over there. I believe the cutting of the ribbon is on the other side. The plaque is in front.
Sorry, just give some directions here. We've got 3 ribbons at the back, Chief Justice and Attorney General and Governor. If you can have the honors to, we have 3 ribbons at the back. One is on that they're against the doors. I think there's one on this side. So maybe Chief Justice, you take the middle. Governor, take the left side, and Attorney General, I think Attorney General, that's on the right-hand side. More or less for the, when you're done, we have one more up in the front here, so you will all come back. And we do the next. After the cutting of the ribbon, our dignitaries will return and we do the unveiling of the plaque in the front here. So. You go, you go organize him.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've been told with each of the dignitaries led by the Chief Justice in the cutting of the ribbon will simultaneously do so at their given location, which is in front of each one of the 3 courtrooms. So, honorable leaders, including the Chief Justice, Governor Bird, and Attorney General, you may proceed. After the count, huh? Okay, after the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I didn't see you coming. I nearly missed you. It's okay. Ground blade, bless me. Now the dignitaries can proceed back to the front. Judge, I'm sorry. I'll just... No rush. Take your time. Further call, please. Further call, Chief Justice, Governor Bird, and Minister for Justice, kindly come back here. Let's complete the unveiling of the plaque before we go to the tour of the courtrooms and the entire establishment. Honorable Chief Justice, could you kindly lead the other 2 brother dignitaries out here for the unveiling of the plaque before we do the tour of the entire building? Court officials, please ensure the courtrooms are locked until after the unveiling of the plaque. People with umbrellas, please stand by. Umbrellas for the dignitaries for the unplaquing. I beg your pardon, unveiling of the plaque. Ladies and gentlemen, led by the Chief Justice, they will now proceed to unveil the plaque of the new Wewak courthouse. Sorry. Ladies and gentlemen, Chief Justice, Honorable Gibbs Salika will now proceed to unveil the plaque. Accompanied by the Attorney General and Governor Allan. At the count of three, 1, 2, 3. And remove the plaque. Remove the veil, rather. Crazy. Please. No, I'd rather you read Chief Justice.
On the plaque are these words. At the front of the crest, Papua New Guinea. Underneath that it is titled as Wewak Law Courts, open on Friday, 18th of August 2023 by Zona Chief Justice Gibbs Salika, Chief Justice of Papua New Guinea.
Thank you so much, Chief Justice. So it's now officially to be referred to as the Wewak Law Courts. Law Courts. While the dignitaries are in front of the plaque, can the builder with the keys please? The representative of the contractor, could you please proceed here to formally hand over the keys to the Chief Justice? The contractor. Ladies and gentlemen, while the Chief Justice and the other dignitaries remain at the plaque, the contractor will now present the keys. Over the man, Mary Paidiman. All the lawyers are assembled at the Plaque with the Chief Justice and the Attorney General. Yeah, I'll come. Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the plaque had been unveiled. The keys have been handed over. And now it's time for the Judge Administrator, Honorable Justice Kenneth Frank, to give a word of thanks. If Honorable Justice Kenneth Frank can proceed to the podium at the upper stand where the microphone is. Thank you. Rather it will be the Judge Manager of Court Buildings and Facilities, Honorable Justice Eleanor Batari, who will give the word of thanks. Thank you.
Let me do this with all your full participation. Firstly, on acknowledgement and thank you. Thank you to the past and present government of Papua New Guinea for delivering this multi-million kina building. And I echo one of our speakers, I think, Minister Maru's description as international standard building. You will not find any more building like this anywhere, possibly the same in other places outside Papua New Guinea. Thank you, Government of Papua New Guinea, for that. Give it a round of applause. This building was designed earlier in the early part of 2000 by Frameworks. And they delivered the first design. They again delivered the variations to the original design. And Gold Bell Construction was the second company that was awarded a contract, and I think we'll all agree and say thank you for a magnificent work that they have done in completing this building and giving us the key today. Thank you to our VIPs, our speakers. Thank you for gracing us with your presence, Attorney General, Chief Justice, Attorney General, Minister for Foreign Trade and Foreign Relations, Honorable Justice, Honorable Richard Maru, the two governors, Honorable Allan and Tony Wow. I think the governor for West Sepik is still here. Yeah, we actually, maybe this gives me the opportunity to challenge you that possibly in Vanimo, we're looking for land. We're looking for land in Vanimo. So thank you for your presence. Disciplinary forces, it would be amiss of me to think to not to thank your officers of the defense force, the police force, and the CS, and the members for participation in the opening of this grand building. Thank you. Give them a round of applause. I think we are happy for the participation. One judge I want to mention, my brother Justice Gaeta. Thank you for continuing the work of Justice Kreer after he left, and you continued. We acknowledge your input into this as well. The Secretariat, NGSS, and your team, in particular, Stanley Mando, is one lo mag-isipik to ya? Is he here? Is here. We acknowledge your input in making this thing happen today. And I think sample time me belat lik longen because all kata munna we lekam long Wewak. Long walk, and his excuse was always good. Kota usah lik apol sem Mr. Pet na. Justice Kirwo mi tokol sem na. Toko ke Hugo. Come back. But thank you, Stanley Mando, for your unwavering efforts in putting this together. The registry staff represented here by the registrar, thank you for also coming up. And I think for this opening, we were greatly assisted and blessed by the provincial government or provincial administration that put all this together to enable the opening to be the way it is today. So thank you, officers of the provincial government, and I think there's a committee working with our local team here to put things together. Thank you. Churches, and I think it all comes down to that. Everything starts and ends with God. Thank you for the clergy, Father Joseph, and our pastor for the prayers. My apology. Didn't mean to demote Bishop. Thank you, Bishop Joseph, for the prayers, and our good pastor from the SDA Church. Thank you for blessing us today. And as I said, everything starts and ends with God, and we believe in the prayers and the blessings through the prayers that we have received today, that we will, through this court, uphold justice. Thank you. Our children, all begin, thank you, through. Thank you for your participation earlier in the piece. If you are not here, thank you through your parents. Mipla talk thank you through long you play kam na stawante mipla. And at least now you play must look sawe sem you got trouble. There's a house by straighten you. But thank you for participating this morning. Give him clap long all pekin ni blobiane. Fellow judges and visitors and everyone, all of you, thank you for sitting all this throughout until now. And by me, you mean by malol sem, but before you mean malolo, you mean talk thank you long MC blow you me. Na mi pinisim one time story belong Parenjo, John Parenjo, and there's a colorful. Mi play no pa anyone Sepik interpreter but during our time it was always lovely to be to have John Parenjo as an interpreter. And I was defending a case one time, one pla white man along Narpla side, one pla expatriate judge, expatriate lawyer, prosecutor. Na all kada time mi wokolo toki molsem. Interpreter no wokolong talk good. It's not interpreting well. And so the judge turned to John Parenjo. He said, interpreter, you must say what the witness is saying. Don't put in your own words. He shot back and said, Your Honor, it's not my fault. It's his fault. He was pointing to the expatriate lawyer. It's his fault. English is not my language. That's his language. That was John Parenjo. I don't know, but we also, if he's here, he'll probably be joining us. But may his soul rest in peace. One time desla, you may kata one bell, you may kata put him on one time. Now you may talk thank you long God. And with that, may God bless you all. Walk about good, you go along all place where you come along, and thank you. Oh, sorry, media. So what you plan of that? Emolman no parim tok lum itu plalois. So thank you thank you long provision long this high technology. I think you have a very, very good system. So you may put him on one time long. Thank you, media blow you me. Any other important one? I think that's it. Are there refreshments? Huh? Okay, now we may go back along MC. By the time blow you me long round inside click na look on the map, you like avoid him.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You got some tamblo where you must try and avoid him. I'm no good only you don't have come out can. So MC.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going down. Yimi oklo go isi na close to na lo finish long. All got a program today, this grand opening of the new, the law courts of Wewak. Now it's time for the presentation of gifts. And I think there is a big provincial government administration. I'm being told that this will not take place. So we will skip that part of the program and we go straight down to the what everyone may be waiting for. And that is the tour of the law courts of Wewak. Go through the courtrooms, look him all plastic in a brokiet langem, mangalim all is plasia. That's all also Justice Batari Tokpinis. Come long clean plahan, in a can come long hand no good. By you kisim bagarap too. So go admire him, mangalim all is plasia on the table. Where you look sour away, judge by sit down. Where you by sit down, also court buff, also observer. Where all money gam long seeking justice, all by sit down. Where all lawyers by sit down, long bar table. You are now welcome, and I believe the court staff, Wewak court staff, will guide our visitors to tour the court buildings. Thank you.
As you go in, maybe after this it will be. As you go in, the district court is on this side. On my left, right. Well, I'm almost left-handed. On my right is the district court, and also the registry. And then to the right, in front of me, and to the left, the National Court, and also offices for the two constitutional officers. and CBC. Is that right? CBC? Probation officers. Our guide tours will be up there, and they should show you around. So with that, you play. I think all honorable members blow him in, Chief Justice. I think only look finish. So time blow play go inside.